announce you.
It's like he forgot who I was.
I do have official business. Really? Please tell me the nature of your business.
Felony number 3. Now that we've stolen a copy of police records, we've stolen a badge, now we're impersonating a police officer.
My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business. Really? How interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Miss Gedde.
That imitation was spot on.
Miss Gedde will see you. Right this way. Miss Gedde will be down shortly. Thank you.
What can I do for you, Detective?
Undoubtedly proof that there is a God.
So that's Malia Gedde. I don't remember who she's played by. I'll find out and I'll post it up in the description of the video or in a pop-up box on the YouTube site.
Beautiful women. They must be relatives.
They are.
You'll notice that in this portion, because of the flame sound effect,
Beautiful women.
there's going to be a little bit of delay between the
They
clicking and the talking.
Harvard class, Homer, Virgil. Maybe Malia wouldn't be impressed by a signed copy of one of Gabriel's novels.
Sounds like she's way out of his league.
This is quite a place.
Thank you. It's been in the family a long time.
Done anything exciting lately?
I'm sorry, but I'm very busy. Can we get to the point?
I guess so.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Gedde?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
Since she was at the lake that day when we saw the murder, or at least the remnants of the murder, I guess we can ask her about it.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
There's nothing silly about the voodoo murders.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced?
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh. Well, I can see that your imagination is considerable.
Might as well go through standard operating procedures and exhaust all conversation options here.
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about voodoo?
I really don't know much about it. Isn't there some place in town that you can find out about that sort of thing? A museum or something?
I believe there is a museum.
Then maybe you should check there.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, Detective.
What do you know about the voodoo?
The murders?
And tell me about your life in New Orleans.
The Gedde family came to New Orleans in 1800. We worked very hard to get where we are. On the other hand, we've done a lot for this community.
I can believe that. You're doing a lot for me right now. Tell me more about New Orleans.
I'm afraid I don't get out into New Orleans society much. Because of the Gedde money, we have slots in the best country clubs and on the best Mardi Gras courts. But I must admit, I hate it. I avoid actually making an appearance unless it becomes absolutely necessary.
I know about those courts. They're very exclusive.
Yes, especially when it comes to people of my race. That's why we don't turn down the appointments. It's a rare opportunity to rub their noses in it. But that's not where I spend my time. I have more important things to do with my life.
That's admirable. Many women would love the chance to get caught up in that kind of life.
I'm not any kind of woman you might be familiar with.
Yes, I can see that. Tell me more about...
I don't know what else you want to hear, Detective. Anything you might care to know about my public life you can easily look up in the papers.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm afraid I quite abhor them.
Do you know anything about snakes? What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I believe it's some sort of local holiday, but I don't know much about it.
What can you tell me?
I believe it...
Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint-Gar means?
No, I don't. What does it mean, Detective?
That's confidential information, ma'am.
Jeez, nobody knows what it means. It's like we need a college professor to tell us.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
I have heard of her, of course, but that's about it.
Do you know anything about Marie?
I have heard...
Tell me about yourself.
I suppose I don't really have a choice. What do you want to know, Detective?
What kind of things interest you?
I don't have a lot of free time, but I do appreciate the arts. Opera, symphony, ballet, fine art. If you look around, you'll see that we collect African art, for example.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
It is, Detective. It means a great deal to me.
Do you have a career?
A career? Being the head of the Gedde family is a 24-hour-a-day job. We have many holdings and many responsibilities, financial and otherwise. The management of our business affairs and properties leaves me with time for little else.
Poor little rich girl?
Believe it or not, Detective, wealth does have its price.
Tell me about your family.
The Geddes? We're a very private family.
How many people are there in your family?
Well, my mother just passed away.
I am sorry.
So am I. She was a magnificent woman. We were very close. I was an only child.
And your father?
I never knew him.
It's hard to believe that any man would leave a woman like you, or like your mother must have been.
He did not leave, Detective, but that's really none of your concern.
I'm sorry. Go on.
There are, of course, other Geddes in the city. I have a large, extended family.
I see. Do you have a husband? A boyfriend?
I'm very independent, Detective. The women in my family have always preferred it that way.
So, you've never been married?
No, and I never will be.
What about children?
Yes, that is likely. Someday.